Caribbean is in danger. Earth's climate is changing as the planet continues to get warmer due to the increasing levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere.
And while this is a global challenge, the Caribbean will be disproportionately affected due to our small size and vulnerable economies. We're here to explain what climate change is and how you can get involved to help.
Most of our energy in the Caribbean still comes from oil and natural gas. When we burn these fossil fuels to produce energy, carbon dioxide is released and it creates a greenhouse effect.
This simply means that the more carbon dioxide there is, the more heat becomes trapped in our atmosphere, and the hotter the Earth becomes.
We have already warmed the Earth by 1 degree Celsius, and we need to ensure that we do not pass 1.5 degrees Celsius by the end of the century. Why should it matter to us?
If we don't take actions to limit climate change, it will mean disaster for the Caribbean. We can already see the impact of hurricanes and flooding that are becoming more severe and more frequent.
Dry seasons are getting longer and hotter, affecting agriculture and farming and making our forests more vulnerable to bushfires. Climate change also puts pressure on our delicate freshwater ecosystems, affecting our farmers and our food supply.
Our islands and coastal areas will be devastated as rising sea levels displace populations, submerge land and destroy infrastructure like our ports, impacting economies and our tourism industries.
Temperatures and more carbon dioxide also contributes to ocean acidification, which will not only destroy our coral reefs, but our fishing industries.
We will lose many species of animals and plants as the world gets hotter, and the Caribbean's biodiversity will be ruined.
And what makes it worse is that the Caribbean is not a major source of carbon dioxide emissions, yet we are the most vulnerable.
So what can we do to help? Well, to start, we should each live in a more sustainable manner.
We can reduce the amount of energy we use by switching to more efficient devices and turning them off when not in use.
If you can't, install solar power at home and dry your clothes outdoors. We must also try to reduce our consumption of plastics and limit the waste that we generate.
Reducing demand will minimize the fossil fuels that went into produce and transport these products. This also means eating less meat and consuming more locally grown foods.
Our forests and green spaces must be protected and cherished as they are nature's way of removing carbon from the atmosphere.
We know it's hot in the Caribbean, but let us walk or ride where we can and carpool where we can't, or even switch to an electric vehicle.
And it's even better if the EV is powered by a utility company that supplies renewable energy. But unfortunately, there aren't many of those in this region, as most of our power still comes from gas and oil.
Also call on our governments and business leaders to drive more aggressive policy agendas to rapidly decarbonize the various sectors of our economies, particularly the power, industrial, and transport sectors.
Reducing our carbon emissions or offsetting emissions where it is not possible to reduce must be at the center of government decision making.
Some company and country have already made commitments, but as a region, we have not.
And we call all governments to commit to net zero by 2050 or sooner. This means that we do not add to the total amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere.
The single most important thing you can do is educate those around you.
Share this video so that we can help fight the very serious threat that climate change poses to our beautiful Caribbean.